Every corner of the garden was alive with the magic of imagination. Some children might find treasure chests filled with golden toys. Others might discover friendly robots or enchanted playgrounds. But for me, it was a place where my stories could live, breathe, and laugh. Adventures in the garden. One day, I imagined a curious train made of bubbles. Instantly, the bubble train chugged into the garden, whistling softly. Its cars were see-through, and as I hopped aboard, it floated gently into the sky, carrying me across lands I had never seen. We floated past the forest of forgotten ideas, where tiny glowing orbs fluttered about, each one holding a half-finished thought. "Write us. Finish us," they whispered as we passed. Then, the train dipped toward the Lake of Wonder, where ideas swam like fish bright, darting, slippery things. I reached into the water and pulled out a golden fish that shimmered into a brand new story right in my hand. Lessons from the garden. The story keeper often reminded me, imagination is powerful, but it needs kindness and courage to grow. I soon learned that not every seed grew right away. Sometimes I planted one, and it just sat quietly, waiting. "These are shy stories," the owl explained. "Give them time, and they'll surprise you when you least expect it." In this garden, everything I imagined came alive. If I thought of a story about a pirate ship, suddenly a wooden ship would sprout from the ground, its sails made of giant leaves, ready for an adventure. If I wished for a talking fox, one would trot out of the bushes, tipping his little velvet hat and asking me about my day. Meeting the story keeper. On my very first visit, I met the story keeper, a gentle owl with golden feathers and eyes that glowed like lanterns. He perched on a branch above me and said, "Welcome, dreamer. Every thought you plant here will grow into something wondrous. But remember, you must care for your garden, for imagination is like a seed, it blossoms only when nurtured." He gave me a pouch of sparkling seeds. "Each one," he explained, "holds a story waiting to bloom. What story would you like to grow today?" Planting dreams. Excited, I took one seed and pressed it into the soil. Immediately, a sprout burst upward, twisting into a tall vine. Within seconds, it blossomed into a door-shaped flower. When I opened it, I found myself stepping into a fairy tale castle where knights, dragons, and princesses were sipping tea together. The next seed grew into a giant book-shaped tree. Its pages flapped like wings, and when I climbed onto a branch, I was carried high above the garden. From up there, I saw shimmering lakes shaped like stars, bridges made of candy canes, and meadows where unicorns grazed peacefully. My secret garden of imagination. Ever wonder where your wildest dreams come to life? Join me as I open the gates to my secret garden of imagination. A place where every story is a bloom and every thought takes flight. Prepare to be whisked away to a whimsical world you never knew existed, where the only limit is your mind. Unlocking the garden gate. What if there was a place where anything was possible, where every thought could bloom? At the very end of my backyard, tucked behind tall hedges and curling vines, stands an old iron gate. It looks ordinary to everyone else, just a little rusty, with ivy twisting around its bars, but to me, it's the doorway to something extraordinary. The first time I found it, I remember my heart beating fast, as if the gate itself was whispering, "Come closer." My fingers brushed against the cool metal, and with a gentle push, the gate creaked open. Beyond it lay a path that shimmered like silver dust, leading me to a place I now call my secret garden of imagination. The first step inside. The air inside was different, sweet, like honey mixed with fresh rain. Flowers of every color imaginable swayed gently, though there was no wind. Some blossoms hummed lullabies, while others whispered poems. Giant sunflowers wore spectacles and read books aloud to each other. Butterflies painted the sky with rainbow trails, leaving behind shapes that turned into little birds, dragons, and flying boats. Other times, Weeds of doubt crept in, dark little thorns that whispered, "You're not creative enough. Your ideas aren't good enough." But whenever I listened too closely, my flowers wilted. That's when I remembered the owl's advice. Pull out the weeds of fear, and your imagination will bloom brighter. So I began to believe in my stories, no matter how small or silly they seemed. And just like that, the garden grew wilder, more colorful, and more alive than ever before. Returning home, when the sun dipped low in the garden, I knew it was time to leave. The silver path always guided me back to the rusty gate. As soon as I stepped outside, the world looked ordinary again. My backyard, my swing, the neighbor's barking dog. But I carried something with me each time. A pocket full of glowing petals, tiny reminders of the stories I had planted. Sometimes they inspired me to draw, sometimes to write, and sometimes to share tales with friends. The secret that grows. Now, whenever life feels dull, or when I need a spark of joy, I return to my secret garden of imagination. It's always waiting, just beyond the gate, ready to welcome me with new adventures and endless wonders. And the best part? You have a garden too. Maybe you haven't found your gate yet, but it's there inside your mind, behind your daydreams, waiting for you to unlock it. So next time you close your eyes and imagine something magical, remember, you're already planting seeds in your own secret garden.